Here I am, know it's been a while. I was in denial about my love.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for joining me, and I hope that you are okay. As you can see that I am bright today. It's a beautiful day outside, and honestly I couldn't have picked a better day to talk about this, because this is something very personal to me, and yeah, I hope that someone else finds it helpful, because I will share some of my personal encounters when it comes to this whole thing, because it's not easy and it's different for everybody, especially yeah. So I hope that you guys find it helpful, and yeah, keep on keeping on. So let's get right to it. So today we're gonna talk about how I realized that I was pregnant, guys. That okay, it was big, obviously. It was big, it is huge, it is bigger than me, obviously. But when you sleep on it, when you pray about it, when you talk about it, it becomes easy. And not easy per se, but you learn to love it and accept it. And yeah, not it, but then I mean like the situation in general. So yeah, for me, guys, it is the hardest 3 weeks of my life. I'm telling you guys, it took me 3 weeks to honestly just be okay with everything, because when you haven't planned things, when you didn't plan it and it just happens, you just like, oh my gosh, really, So yeah, what had happened was, I was at my friend's place in Cape Town. I was doing her makeup for her graduation, man. So yeah, she just recently washed her blankets and everything there. So it smelled like fabric softener, obviously. It is so sweet and obviously fresh, but for me, oh my gosh, it is so nauseating. I couldn't take it. I mean, I couldn't believe that. Why are these good smells just like making me so for no reason? You get me? And then she bought me my friend told me what they call it in English. I forgot, but it's a kota. Yeah, a kota. She bought me this kota. Oh, guys, I love food. I love food, but that kota was just you. Oh my gosh, it was just, and everything that was inside the kota, I ate. Like, I do eat it regularly, but then when it was all together like that, I mean, and then I was like, there's something wrong with me. But then I just like blew it, and I was just like, it's not me. Like, it would never be. I didn't even consider the fact that I was pregnant. You get me? So yeah, I decided to go home because the smells and the room was just too clean for me. And in the taxi, I was in the train. There was a guy who was like a hobo-ish kind of person. Yeah, hobos in Cape Town. Hobos are everywhere. Hobos are they are the shit there. So I was sitting next to him. I think I was sitting next to him. The one hobo was sitting next to me, because he came to me. You can't just like go up to a hobo and just sit next to him. So he was like next to me, and guess what? Didn't I enjoy the smell? I know it is so nasty and just wrong, but I enjoy sitting with him. I was like, because everyone had perfumes and whatnot, I was literally leaning towards the guy. I was like, it was so comforting, and I was like, okay, there's something wrong, guys. Honestly, there's something wrong with this girl. So before I went to Cape Town for my graduation, which was in April, but I had to leave in March. Before I went there, this site, I was a party master. I was drinking every single weekend. I was popping bottles, beer bottles. I was popping beer bottles. I'm a beer person, so y'all, I drank. I drank. I was just, I was, yo. I didn't know, obviously, and mind you, I was already pregnant, but I didn't know. So guys, please, if you miss a period once, like one time, just go and get checked before you feed your child something very toxic. Because I pray every day till now, even now, that my baby is okay despite all my drinking. And guys, you can just please forgive me, I did not know. I only found out when I was already 3 months with my pregnancy. So before I went to Cape Town, I was partying. I was a party master. I went to clubs. I was drinking, and by the time I was already pregnant, by the way, guys, I was already pregnant, but I was drinking. I was shoving Bali. I was drinking like nobody's business, because obviously I'm done with school, girl, and I'm old enough to do it. I drank. I was drinking. I'm a beer person personally, but that time beer wasn't coming in, like it wasn't getting in, so yeah, I got to my sister's place, and then that day she was cooking something and she put garlic in it. Garlic, of all things. Okay, I never generally liked garlic. I never bought it even when I was still in school. I never bought garlic, not even once. I never cook with it. I never use it because it's just not nice. But that time, I enjoyed it. I literally took the garlic thingy container in the fridge, and I was like this. I was literally just breathing through it. And my sister's like, oh, what the hell is wrong with you? There's definitely something wrong with me. So my cousin came from I think it was a break or something, like from training and whatever. So I asked her to please just give me money so I can go and get a pregnancy test, because I've missed my period like 3 months already. But I had this thing that I usually miss my period, but then it isn't that long. I usually go like 2 months. I've had it since I was young. I don't know, it's a genetic disorder or something like that. But 2 months, 3 months, I don't go on my period, so it was like normal to me. But then that time, I knew there was something wrong, guys. I definitely knew that there was something wrong. So I bought the pregnancy test, and then usually, what they tell you, good team, you must wait for the first pee of the morning. So I was like, I was so agitated. I had to wait for the next day to use it, because I wanted the results to be as accurate as possible. So obviously I had to use my first pee. Yeah, I know that one with the dreams and everything, the one that is filled. No, even if you drink a lot of water, but the first pee in the morning is just not, it doesn't smell nice. Yeah, that one with all the nutrients and the juices. Yes, that one. That is the pee that I used. Yes, I peed on the stick. Hey guys. Oh my gosh, my life just flashed before my eyes. Literally, I was finding errors. I was like, no man, this line is too blunt, man. I can't see it properly. Like I can't, it's blurry, Yeah, I was making excuses, but I knew deep down that, okay, this is it. Like, you are in some serious shit right now. So I showed my cousin, and she was like, I know. My cousin has this thing of making me feel better in situations, She's like, I'm not, pregnant. Are you, pregnant? But, she's just that person. I don't know. She just likes being that person who makes things better, even though they aren't, even though you're in like deep shit. So yeah, she was telling me, no man, No, man, it's not. Ugh, man, it's not like that. You should test again, or you should just wait it out. Ooh. So yeah, I was completely like shocked, and although I wasn't shocked, but I was just like, no, man, this is not the perfect time. This is just wrong timing. Like, I was thinking about so many things because I was applying for jobs, school. I had this other thingy that I had to go to in China, but I had to cancel it. Oh my gosh, I was thinking about so many things, and it took me like a while to accept it. There was a point, guys, where I was like, no, man, no, I'm not ready for this. I have to do something about it. I was calling my friends, I was telling them, good guys, where can I get these 2-minute things that just work, boom, just like that. And that time I was already like 3 months, I think. Yeah, I was 3 months. Yeah, so I was calling my friends, asking them about pills, asking them about doctors, the prices. I was broke. That time I was the most broke person in this world. I was, when money just disappears when you need it the most. Yeah, I was broke. I couldn't even get the pills because the pills are cheaper. I was just really broke. I can't believe it. I was broke. Yeah, so I eventually talked to my boyfriend about it. Yeah, after I had considered all these other things that I shouldn't have considered. Now, like when I think about it now, but then obviously you do, and can't judge me, guys. I'm a girl. I have dreams. So yeah, I spoke to my boyfriend about it, and he was against the whole thing of me trying to terminate it, because it was something that I was gonna do, because I had plans. I had plans. Unfortunately, I wasn't disciplined enough to like take on all the precautions before you do the deeds. Yeah, so yeah, I had plans, and I felt like all my dreams are just gonna be like dead if I have a baby. And guys, it is so hurtful to think that everything that I had worked so hard for is just gonna go out the window, because obviously my sister was telling me things like, really, now you have to think for 2 people. You have to start thinking about someone else. You have to sacrifice some things. Oh, and you know when you've been alone for your life, having to think about yourself, it's just so overwhelming to find out that you have to think about someone else now. In that time, you still want to rock. You still want to live your life. You have these dreams, and you have these expectations of yourself, and it's just so overwhelming. But yeah, I did consider termination. Luckily, I didn't do it. Okay, fortunately enough, I didn't do it, because I don't know. I just fell in love with the baby. I fell in love with the idea, I think, more than I fell in love with other things like traveling and seeing the world and wearing crop top. Yeah, so so I learned to love my baby, embrace her or him. I still don't know the gender though. But yeah, I learned to just accept it and make the best out of it. It's not the end of the world. Like, there are people who are big, regardless of having babies. So it's like, what's wrong with me, Although I wouldn't compare myself. Some people, it's hard, guys. It's hard. It's just not the perfect thing that could ever happen to you at that particular moment. But you just do it anyway. You just make ends meet. But for me, I felt like I have done some of the things that I wouldn't have been able to do had I had a baby earlier on in life, because I'm like 23, I've graduated, I'm done with school, I'm just like job hunting right now. But us girls, we still want to do so many things, want to prove ourselves, like prove to ourselves that we are great and prove to our men that we can do anything. So yeah, I still want to do so many things, but this is not a slide back or anything, although I had to take a gap year this year. But I am appreciating every moment of this pregnancy and I want to enjoy it. And yeah, man, it's not easy having to look at your friends living their life, but you just look at yourself and you're like, you become grateful for what you have. There are people out there who aren't as fortunate to have kids, so why would I take that for granted, And then yeah, so that's how I learned to live with my baby inside me. She's still growing. She's still growing. And I can't wait to meet this little just bundle of joy, man, guys. Like, this thing is just... Okay, this thing... I can't help but call it this. This thing is just the ish. It's my plug. It just brings joy to me. And I finally, after a very, very long time, I have something to live for, At times, I was just doing things just to, to do them. I had to do them. I had to go to school. I had to finish school. I had to not fail. I never failed anything. I never failed a module. I never failed a class. I never failed anything. So to me, it was like, yeah, I have to keep going. So when I found out that I was pregnant, I felt like I failed. I had failed my life. I had failed myself. I failed my father. My father. Guys, I had to tell my father about it. I had to have someone, like a witness protection. Yeah, so I asked my sister to accompany me, and I told my dad. I bought him lunch. Yeah, I bought him lunch. We had lunch at Spur, and we ate. Yeah, when we were deserting, I told him, and surprisingly enough, he was okay with it. I think maybe it's because I'm done with school, and yeah, man, like he thought I was mature enough to take on such a huge ass monumental task. Yeah, so I feel like he was like, he's happy, man, although he's not happy because I don't have a car. I don't have a job yet, but I think he's okay with it because he knows that I don't know what he knows, but I know that I am more than capable of taking care of a child. So yeah, big ups to me. Anyway, so the advice that I would give you as a young woman, 23, young woman who has dreams, plans, all these goals that they want to reach. First and foremost, always take precautionary measures. Guys, do not slide through this one. Always make sure that you are doing things the right way. Do not ignore things or be do not just brush things off or procrastinate or postpone that clinic appointment or that short appointment that you have to. Guys, you just go and do it. Believe me, trust me, you'll thank me later. I'll save your life. Yeah, and always try to think about yourself more than the other person. So for me, keeping this baby was generally for me, even if my baby daddy, even if my baby's father hadn't been so against the whole terminating thing, I would still have probably found it in my heart to like learn to accept it and love it and be brave enough to raise this child and let this child grow inside of me, even though I get fat. But yeah, that is the first thing. You should always be cautious and like put everything that you handed, everything, just take it, receive it, and just make it work. Especially if you have plans, if you have dreams, if you have things that you want to do and you don't want any distractions, you want any setbacks. Honestly guys, I cannot sugarcoat this or anything. Having a kid and you still don't have your life in order yet is not the best thing that could ever happen to you, although it's not the worst either, but it is just something that you could have avoided. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. Another thing, make the decision of keeping the baby because you want to keep the baby, not because your family is like from the church and you don't want to be that kid, that child, you know, and not because the baby dad is pressurizing to give, because some cases they don't even stick around long enough to actually keep their word, you know. So y'all, tell yourself also that you're doing it for yourself. Do not do things for anybody else but yourself. Another thing, what, yeah, and another thing, guys, work hard. If you find out that you're pregnant and you're keeping the child, work hard, work your ass out. Like work, find things to do, especially if you don't have a job and everything. Just work hard, make that child your motivation, you know, especially when they're still inside of you and they eat everything you do. Child, you better work and save money, and ask people, ask your family. I was lucky enough to have very supportive family. When I told them, they were like, it's cool. It's not the best timing, obviously, but it is cool. We will support you 100%. But bottom line, you should work hard. You should also give them the motivation to also help you when you help yourself. You get what I'm saying? So do that. But at the end of the day, you'll be cool. You'll be okay. The child will grow. They'll be the best thing that could ever happen to you. I've seen some of my family members and they're happy and I'm happy. I hope that you are happy too. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you found it helpful. You know, I feel a little pink today, but I hope that you found it helpful and you can recommend this video to someone else who you feel might need it, because guys, good tough out there. Hey, good tough. I was a drinker, I was a party person, I was just, I was a vibe. A whole vibe is in me. And I had to sacrifice all those things now, and I had to just, things are obviously going to start changing now because I'm going to be a mother of a child, so I can't be acting like I'm out of character, although I'm not saying you should stop living, but I'm just saying you should act accordingly, man. Now you do things that are beneficial, do things that are building, so thank you guys for watching. Keep on keeping on. Bye.